cultural identity is inextricably tied to ʻāina. You cannot say, I am Hawaiian, and not recognize that you or your ancestors come from ʻāina, come from Hawaii. So as far as being able to connect to ʻāina, when a Hawaiian perhaps is born in Illinois, they will always grow up knowing I'm from Hawaii, and when they come back to Hawaii, they will tell you, that's the place I feel the most grounded. I always felt like I don't belong in Illinois, but I belong here. But the same is true with ancestral homelands as well. Those would be the kulaiwi of your lineage. The Hawaiian homes, right? They do lend to the displacement of Hawaiians away from their homeland. If I'm from here, but I get awarded a lot in Anahola and Kauai, I will take the lot. I will uproot my Maui family and move to Anahola, and thus lose part of my connection to the strength of my ancestral identity. Because now, my kids, when they're born on Kauai, will say, I'm from Kauai, right? So even that system serves to separate a little bit dispossessed people, or a form of diaspora perhaps. But when it comes to land, nobody has ever said, I do not have strength in my identity because I visited this place. Everybody will say, I have some form of strength in identity because now I know more about where I come from. There are enduring aspects of ʻāina, and by ʻāina I mean the natural environment. So any given place has its own resident wind, resident rain, has its own features that are enduring. So this mountain peak that I can see from here, this water that I can dip myself into from here. If I know that my kūpuna come from this particular place, and I've never been there, when I get to that place, and the kupa of that place say, this is the resident wind, you know that that's the exact same feeling, the exact same phenomenon that your kūpuna experienced. If you're drenched in the same rain, that serves to connect you. That's a heritage experience, in that your kūpuna experienced the same rain and the same feeling, the same dampness that you are now experiencing. If they say this is a wahipana that you can see from this area, and you look to that mountain peak and they point it out to you, they know that when their kūpuna stood on the same spot, they have the same experience that their kūpuna saw. That doesn't mean our thoughts are exactly the same, but the experience is the same. So those types of heritage experiences are strengthened when we are able to reconnect with ancestral lands. When it comes to modern day challenges, something that Kanaka Maoli are blessed with is history. Knowing our history, being knowledgeable about our history, or having access to people who are knowledgeable about our history, and now resources that can tell us our history. So if I come, say, to this land here at Pueo, because of the ingenuity of our kūpuna, I have access to everything they wrote down about this particular place. And so when it comes to the challenges that we face, whether it's environmental or political, we have that in our pocket, that form of connection that we can prove. We know you have damaged this place because our mele and our mo'olelo say, this is what it's supposed to look like, yet this is what it looks like now. However, because we know what it's supposed to look like, that's our goal for when we restore it. We know what sovereignty looks like. We know what water issues look like. We know what water rights look like. We know so much because of what was left for us through those types of documentation. All of those resources serve to connect us to ʻāina, beyond what we have been able to experience ourselves in our own lifetime, and even our grandparents in their lifetimes. They have these experiences of plantation days, so that's adding to the tapestry of this fabric that is our history. But to further connect us, we have the writings of our kūpuna.